Hey, it's Sarah from Press Plus One, and we're in Toronto talking to Zach, Isaac, and Taylor from Hanson about the album Shout It Out. I mean, it's been like 15 years since Middle of Nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Does it feel like 15 years?
In some ways, it feels like 30.
Yeah.
No, and I think time is a strange thing. I mean, there are some aspects of the last 15 years that do feel like a long, long time ago. And then there's other things, that seem like they just happened. I think it is true that as the years add up, they go by faster, and you kind of go, oh my God, that was 6 years ago. How'd that happen? I mean, we were just in places like the Philippines and Latin America for the first time in 5 or 6 years, and couldn't believe it had been that long. It just just happened like that. I think for us it is kind of cool, the fact that you reach a point where you do have kind of a track record, and you have a real history, and you can pull from experiences that you've had all over the planet playing music.
Yeah.
And do you listen to your older songs the same way that you might have listened to them before?
Well, I think inevitably, as you listen back, you have a little bit more perspective, no matter what, because you're less emotionally attached to things in a certain way. I mean, and you can see certain things about yourself and tendencies that you might have had as well that that just give you kind of added perspective on yourself and what you were doing at that time and things like that. But I think despite the fact that there are definite obvious evolutions in our music over the last 15 years, I think as much is the same as it is different. I mean, the core elements of being heavily inspired by early R&B music and things like that is a pretty consistent thread throughout our records, and obviously the harmony things and just a very strong kind of, I guess, pop sensibility about the way we write songs and stuff like that. So I mean,
one unique thing about us is that we do all have very unique sort of takes on things, but we really do collaborate. I mean, the sound of our band is, it's this combination of different ways of approaching vocal arrangements and playing and writing, and we all have the same sort of DNA. Well, we do have the same DNA, but we have the same musical DNA, because we do have strong influences that are common. But along the way, you diverge with different influences and things that you like and things you identify with as a player, and so each album and each cycle is that growing process. I mean, a lot of times with bands, what happens is that people, I think, they just sort of they just stop trying. They kind of go, oh well, this is what we do, right? And that's an easy thing to do in any job, in any career. You've been working at the same company for years, and so you just start putting in your card and showing up and going home. And
people become musically unsatisfied, either for various reasons. It means a lot. In certain cases, it seems like you'll have scenarios where certain members of the band will get more attention than others, and others will become more frustrated and blah blah blah, and then eventually it creates tension. But
I think, we like every band go through different cycles, but there's still a unity to the sound. There's still a strength, and when you listen to Shout It Out, I think it's the most cohesive album we've made. I mean, it's the most top to bottom. Wow, this has a sound, and it's cool that 5 albums in, you sound cohesive more than last time.
Do you remember every song you've ever written?
No, definitely
every
not.
Song ever? No.
I mean, if you say every song you've ever written, that really is thousands of songs. I mean, probably the equivalent of every day you write something, and some are good and some are bad and some are worth remembering and some are just a little idea that comes and goes. As far as every song that's ever been on an album or ever released, I mean, I think we remember pretty much all of those.
Yeah, pretty much all of those. I mean, could we play any one of them right off the bat if someone told us to? Hey, will you play so-and-so? It probably might be a little bit of a challenge.
We might need like 15 or 20 minutes to go, okay, what were the chords? What was the lyrics on the second verse?
Yeah, probably more the chords than the lyrics for me.
That's the advantage of having a band. One of us is bound to remember it.
Exactly. But we actually did on this last tour in the U.S. in particular, during 2011, we provided an opportunity for the fans to actually vote on the set list, and we gave them the opportunity to pick from one of the 5 records every single night, and tell us which record they wanted us to feature in the show. And so basically every single night we were changing from album to album, playing almost the entire record. In pretty much every case, it was either the entire record or maybe one song shy of the entire record, from night to night, and it was a lot of fun, and it definitely kept us fresh on our repertoire.
What's the one question you would ask yourselves?
Question is, how did you get so amazing as a band?
That's a hard one to answer too.
It's impossible to answer.
Exactly.
Hard work, dedication,
Yeah, it becomes a giant math problem. You start talking about DNA,
magic, a lot of magic.
dark matter, string theory.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, what is the atomic weight of barium?
Well, see, why would you ask yourself that? Because you don't know the answer.
I know, but it would just be weird.
It'd be heavy.
You can probably Google it.
Yeah, probably.
These days, the whole world is a cheat.
Monopoly, it was such a cool way to take all these things that are Hanson and our fans and our community of people know about the band and sort of go, okay, what if we took like our history and the music business and just sort of like all these crazy things and put them into this. And it was just it was a fun thing. I mean, instead of going to jail, you go to A&R hell. Instead of free parking, you get a worldwide smash hit. Like, there's just these funny things that we were able to go, like, this is a fun idea. It's something cool. And, me personally, I owned 6 copies of Monopoly before Hansonopoly. So, I obviously like the game a lot.
Yeah, and like anything, it just comes from, something that you think is a fun or funny or, entertaining idea. And that's really where it kind of ultimately comes from. You go, that would be kind of cool. Well, we should look into that. And then you realize, that does work as an idea. And then you just kind of go for it. And it was a lot of fun to finally get that done.
Yeah.
You guys play it yourselves?
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
Winner?
Whoever
well,
has the patience to keep playing Monopoly until it's finished.
Exactly.
Whoever's like, I can play this for 5 hours.
I'm able to channel all music through the plate that was put in my hand when I was a small child.
Yeah. Kid A starts coming. He'll just bam.